We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
What? 52. 52's the mic. I'm trying to collect. 52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Under 10. Under 25.
They run it with Carson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
14, got it. 56. He can't hang.
On third down, Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it first and 10.
We got 4.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And some room. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on, man.
But desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Here we go. 180. That's trash.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season. Really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. This is Jerick McKinnon, who missed the entire 2018 campaign. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Mike 54.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson stepping up. He'll try and run. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, D. Check the 12. Well, 52, Mike, 52.
Now Wilson on 3rd down. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come out here in the eye. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Hey, alert 3. Zebra.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Right 315. Check right 54. Right 54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
This time Wilson will throw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ed Dixon, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
On second down, a run with Breida. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
7-7, our score after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Here we go. 180. Mark 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tight right there. 4 down, check, 4 down.
On first down, here's Breida. And some space here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Here we go. 180. Mike 58 right there. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Slam.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second down, McKinnon, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Check three.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They'll run with McKissick. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
We own it. One pass. 54 is Mike. 54. 3 butt.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Breida. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
21.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They come out here in the eye.
Check. Watch 54. It's a party now. 11, man.
They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gold with the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the run. Hey, alert.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson being chased out left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well, as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Tighten down. There you go.
Wilson now throwing again. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
I think he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down now, run with McKinnon. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
11.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic. Let's go double count right here. Double count. 52's the mic right here over there, right? 52. Here we go, D.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, Seattle.
Got it. 52. Truck. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. 5-2's the mic. Mike 5-2.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 43-yard line.
I'll go special. Watch Mike. I'm on.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, it's caught right side. Dixon. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Good trick. Listen. Check 52's the mic. Go. 52's the mic. You better be afraid.
Wilson. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go. 180.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They come out here in the eye.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Turn it. 52. Hey, let's get in them holes.
Wilson. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll make it 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Rabbit. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Defense.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out right at the 35. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Zebra. 56 to Mike.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Quan Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to haul it in is Kittle. A big third down pickup of 20 yards. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former fifth-round pick. Actually, I remember that game, December against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards. Did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers! George Kittle, his fifth touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No. I don't hear scales. I actually hear a tune being warbled.
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
The Seahawks take over. Let's go, baby. At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Go 14.
Now it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on third.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
And here's Wilson operating from the gun. Forced Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
56. Mike, 56, right there. Right there.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And now another one thrown incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Garoppolo looks to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. 25 yards that time. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, McKinnon. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Wilson, now in desperation throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. For McGowan, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check that.
This is Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check 4. Check.
They will run again with Coleman. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
It's 3rd and 10. Tonight's final
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, the win will move them to